So while I give you all a moment to do that, I'll kind of myself. So I am a former CMU student. I graduated in 2017. Got my master's degree in higher education. And I was a student athlete here at Central Michigan. I competed on the track and field team. I ran the half mile. I live on campus with University Recreation, also an internship at Mount Pleasant High School. And the more involved on campus, the better your college experience is going to be. So whether you come to Central Michigan or another school, get involved on campus, get some work experience. So that way you're ready to hit the real world and too while you're in college. So kind of the purpose of today's presentation is obviously learn more about Central Michigan. So we'll take this in 3 parts. The first one is getting to know Central Michigan, our background, our academic programs, our resources here available on campus is what's it like at CMU as a student? How do you get involved on campus, our sporting events, residence life, where do you go to eat? We'll cover all that there. And then the last part is becoming a part of CMU. So how do you apply? What scholarships are available? What's the cost of it? So we'll kind of go over that. So to begin with, Central Michigan, we are a big, beautiful university and located in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. So we are in the smack dab middle of the state, i.e. Central Michigan. We began over 1892 as a small teachers college in downtown Mount Pleasant. We haven't moved far from downtown Mount Pleasant. We're about 6 blocks south of downtown, and we have this big, beautiful campus. It's about 15 minutes to walk across from one end to the other. We have 18,000 students here in our main. We're kind of like that perfect Goldilocks story. So we're not too big and we're not too small. We're not so big that we're going to just put you in a lecture hall and talk at you for 4 years. But at the same time, we're not so small. We have the great academic facilities, the cool athletic events, and the tremendous faculty members to the Central Michigan brand. We go a long ways with that. I lived out of state for a couple of years, and every time I wore my Central Michigan shirt, I got a lot of fire chips. I got to meet a lot of alumni, so you'd be surprised. So I mentioned 18,000 students on my campus. We are that perfect personalized attention, and you won't just be in a large lecture hall either. You see here that we are a Carnegie classified doctoral research institution. Long fancy title, you may not know what it means, but that's okay. I didn't know what it meant either when we first got it, but essentially what it means is that top 6% of universities nationally in terms of offering research and hands-on experience for our students. So when you come to campus here at Central, again, we're not just going to talk at you and teach you in a lecture hall for 4 years. We're going to get you out and get you doing things. We're going to get you doing research projects, internships and co-ops. We do here at Central Michigan. So we're going to get you that hands-on experience so that when you graduate in 4 years, you're ready for that first job. You're not just in a name and a GPA at the top of a piece of paper that they call a resume. You have experience, you have references, you have foundation. We do here at Central Michigan. We're not just going to teach you. We're going to teach you, but we're going to do more than that. Okay, so Central Michigan, we are a university, but within our university, we have 6 academic colleges, which you can see here. Between these, we have over 200 majors and minors. So that's a lot, but that's okay. If you don't know what you want to do, about half our students come in as undecided. I was actually an undecided student, and then I actually majored in biology for a year. And if you can't tell, I'm no longer doing too well. So obviously I made a change. I'm very glad for it. But I was still able to graduate in 4 years, and that's thanks to our academic advisors and our great faculty members. They really took the time to sit down with me, give me personal attention, and get to know Scott. They didn't just get to know a student, they got to know Scott. I was able to find my interests, get in that right major, take those classes, and be done in 4 years. So that's awesome. We have great faculty members and great academic advisors. We have a 21-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So average class size probably pretty comparable to a lot of you in your high school classes, students in the class. So again, you'll get your personalized attention, you'll get to meet your professors, and the professors, they want to meet you. They're not people who just aren't going to stand behind that podium and just talk at you. Go up and meet your professors, go to your office hours, meet them. They love talking to students, that's others. But to kind of run through some of these academic colleges here, the College of Arts and Media, these are our students that tell the story. They're your broadcasting, your journalism, your communication majors. We have 2 student-led radio stations right here on campus. So if you want to get involved in learning how to run a radio station, CMU is a great place. Our College of Business Administration, we have 19 business-related majors. And if you've ever seen a popular show on television called Shark Tank, we have the same thing here at CMU. We call it our new venture competition. So we have groups of students present their entrepreneurial ideas to faculty members, and they actually receive funding to make those projects come to life. So when you do a project here at Central, we're not just going to give you an A or some grade and then just move on. We want that project to actually be carried out and actually make a difference. Our college of education, we began as a teacher's college. We are certainly still well known as a teacher's college. I'm sure a lot of your teachers in your high schools are CMU alum. All throughout the state, we have a lot of Michigan teachers, but even out of the state too. We have a career fair each and every year where schools from all over the nation come to Central Michigan, teachers and other human service majors. Our college of health professions, kind of moving down to this fourth one. This is our fastest growing college. So we have this big, beautiful building on the east side of campus, and we just added on to it. That's our health professions building. We were the first school in the athletic training major. So if you're interested in athletic training or physical therapy, CMU are great places to attend. We have great faculty members over there. The College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, this is our biggest college in terms of the majors that we offer. So this has psychology, sociology, political, just to name a few. So those are all within there. And last but certainly not least is our College of Science and Engineering. If you are interested in being a weather forecaster, Central Michigan is certainly the place for you because we have the only meteorology program in the state. But beyond that, we have science, math, and engineering-based majors. It seems like the big three, Ford, GM, and Chrysler, always come to campus in the spring, and they just seem to scoop up our graduates like they're candy. And they great placement rate for our engineering students and for all our students in that college. Okay, for our student support services, we want to make sure our students feel well supported, but not just as students, holistically as people. You know, you're going to be here for the next 4 years, and so we want to make sure that this is a home for you and you feel well supported here at Central Michigan, which is why we have all these resources here in place. A couple of them. These are just the ones that we highlight here on this slide, but there's more on our website, and if you ever need anything, you can just talk to an advisor or a staff member on campus, and I'm almost certain that they can get you in touch with the right person. So I won't bore you with all of these. I won't go through this list. I'll name a couple of them that I think are notable. Our academic advising assistants, when you come to campus for the first time as a new freshman for orientation, you're going to sit down with an academic advisor, and they're going to help you pick out your classes for your first year here on campus. But you can meet with your academic advisors many times. They're based all throughout campus. They're in our academic advising center, Ronan Hall, but they're even in your residence halls too. So we make it easy for you to get in front of an academic advisor. Our Career Development Center, this is a great resource for our students. You can go there and get help with your resume, your cover, do mock interviews. So when you go for your first interview for that first big job, you can go do a mock interview at CMU in the Career Development Center. That way you're prepared for that interview. And they also get you in touch with employers and can tell you about career fairs that are coming up and where those might be. So great resource, encourage you to utilize it. Our Center for Inclusion and Diversity, we want to make sure all our students feel safe and welcome on campus. So we have that house in our university center. And the last one I'll mention here is our counseling center. We understand that students may go through difficult points in their life, academic or whatever. So we have counseling available to our students. So if they ever need, they can utilize that. It's all free to them. So again, we're treating our students not just as students, but holistically as people. We also want our campus to be safe for our students here at Central Michigan. That's why we have over 20 commissioned police officers right here on campus. We have our own CMU police. They're based all throughout campus, but also in our residence halls too. So you can see in the picture here is Officer Martinez. She might arguably be the most popular person on campus, President Davies. She's based in our East residential community. So say hi to her when you get a chance. She seems to know everyone, and when she's not on duty, she actually teaches Zumba lessons in our student activity center. So say hi to her when you get an opportunity. But beyond our police staff here at CMU, we have emergency outdoor phones. So as you walk through campus, you might see a bunch of yellow phone boxes with the blue light above them. That's an emergency phone. So if you ever need to, you can go up to that phone, press a button, it calls straight through to CMU police. And there'll be a CMU police officer at your locations. So kind of like a phone scavenger hunt. I challenge you to try to find all 27 of them. And then the central alert system. I use this all the time as a student, and actually use it still now as a staff member, but it's a great system to have to sign up for. Basically, it's just that. So anytime that there is an emergency in the city of Mount Pleasant or on campus, if there's inclement weather, you can have your phone set up so CMU can either text, call, or email you, or any combination of those three. That way you know if there's 6 inches tonight, or if there's some emergency on campus, and parents can sign up for this too. So you don't have to live in Mount Pleasant to sign up for the central alert system. So if you worried parents out there, you can sign up for that central alert system and kind of keep tabs. And it's great for those snow days too. You can get that text in the morning and realize, hey, class has been, versus kind of getting up, starting your days, and then realize, oh shoot, class is canceled. So sign up for that central alert system. Okay, transitioning to the second part of this presentation. What is life like at CMU? How do I get involved on campus, your sporting events, and where am I going to live? So get involved on campus. We have over 400 student organizations right here on campus. They're all student-led, and they serve a wide variety of domains. They're academic, multicultural, recreational, social, you name it. So I recommend doing one professional development or academic, kind of advance yourself, but also to have some fun with it too. We have a photography club that was started. We even have a squirrel watching club. So if you realize that there's a lot of squirrels on campus and they're friendly and well fed, part of that is because we have a squirrel watching club. So have some patients too. We do have Greek life available. So fraternities and sororities, both academic and social, if you want to pursue that, you can certainly do that. It's available to our students. Our rec center, we have this big, beautiful rec center on the south side of campus. We call our Student Activity Center. It's everything you might ever need. Basketball courts, racquetball, volleyball courts. There's an indoor track, a fitness center, weight room. There's a pool and a hot tub. There's a bowling alley. There's even an esports gaming room that was new this year. So there's plenty to do in there. Go check it out. We do have, which are kind of like rec leagues. So you and your friends can sign up for softball, soccer, beach volleyball, flag football, dodgeball, even inner tube water polo. There's something for everyone. So get involved and make some friends through that. And then we have club sports. So for those of you who are a little bit, we do have over 40 club sports. We have your mainstream ones, your soccer, your basketball, volleyball. You play against other schools. So if you're on the club soccer team, for example, you might travel to Grand Valley and we can play their club soccer team. But again, we have over 40 club sports. So manage that. We have obviously the mainstream ones, but ones that you may have heard of before. We have rugby, we have Rampage, which is the kind of dance, and we even have Quidditch for those of you who are looking for that magical experience. And yes, we are ranked in the national Quidditch rankings. Who knew there were Quidditch rankings, but there are rankings on the rankings. So come check out our Quidditch team, or better yet, join them. You can also study abroad. We have over 150 academic programs in over 50 countries all around the world, and you can study it during the summer. You can do it during the fall or spring semester, to mini study abroad and go over winter break or a spring break. I had a friend go to Costa Rica for spring break. He knocked out a college class and did it at a very affordable price. We try to make all our study abroad programs very affordable to our students. So take advantage of that. It's a cool experience to knock out classes and just having some fun with it. Our athletic events are all free to our students as well. So you see here in the picture, this is Kelly Short Stadium. This is the home of the Chippewa football team. We get back in action on November 6th is our opening kickoff for the season of 2020. See the team get back in action. But as students, you have free access to our football games, but all our games. You can go to our volleyball games, basketball games, wrestling, gymnastics, track events if you want to come watch the track team. All of them are free to students. All you got to do is in at the door or at the gate, and you're in for free. And then kind of last thing here on the side, our homecoming. This is usually one of the first weekends in October. We have our proud alumni come back to campus for our football games. There's events on campus. There's a parade through downtown Mount Pleasant. There's even a cardboard boat race engineering students doing Rose Pond outside the football stadium. It's really cool. So there's events all day long. A lot of CMU alumni coming back. It's just a big Maroon and Gold weekend. We have concerts on campus too. So we have big name concerts come to our basketball arena and play. I saw Dan and Shay and Big Sean as a student. I know we have big names come each and every year. And these concerts are either free or they're very affordable for our students. One of them was free that I went to, and another one was like $15, and you don't get to see those kinds of names for that price or for free. So take advantage of that. And the speakers, we have speakers come to campus, and they come from so many different backgrounds. I saw Jane Goodall when I was a student. If you don't know who Jane Goodall is, she did a study with chimpanzees and actually studied lived amongst chimpanzees. Really cool to hear her experiences. I saw Herman Boone and also the coach from Remember the Titans, not Denzel Washington. Nope, it wasn't him, but the coach that he played, who coached during those times back in the 60s. So speaker free to our students. So again, take advantage of that too. In terms of where you live on campus, this is kind of a big thing that I'm sure a lot of you really care a lot about. I know when I was going through the college search process, residence halls were kind of big on my list, and I visited many schools, both in the state of outside the state of Michigan, and I can tell you that CMU had the nicest residence halls. So we had two options here for our students. We have the standard room, which is 4 students between 2 bedrooms. So yes, you're sharing a bedroom with one other student, a common space area, and then a bathroom right in your room. So we don't have community to walk down the hall to use the bathroom. It's right there in your room. And then the premium room, you have 4 students for 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a big common space area. So bit of a step up, but both options are awesome for our students. On each floor of our residence hall, we have kind of like a media center / study lounge. So you can kind of go to that common space area, gather with friends, or sometimes it's often pretty quiet too, so you can go and study there as well. We have fitness facility centers in each of our residence halls. So we have that big, beautiful student activity center. If it's a cold day or you're just not feeling up to it, you can just go down the hall to our fitness facility center right there in your residence halls and kind of get that quick workout in. We also have student success offices based in our residence halls. So those academic advisors, yes, they're in your residence halls too. So if you ever need, they're right there, and they're easily accessible. But arguably, I think the best thing about our residence halls is the free laundry, because that's relatively new. There was no free laundry when I was a student. I had to pay with quarters. So that's not the case anymore. Laundry is free, and mom and dad are off, go home every weekend to do your laundry. You can do it here on campus. And if that weren't enough, there's even an app that can tell you when your laundry's done. So we're making it easy on you to learn how to do your laundry for those who haven't done it before. All right, and for what you eat on campus, good news, halls are right on par with our residential halls. So we have 4 dining halls, and to kind of take a half step back, we have 21 residence halls on campus, and they're all based within 4 communities. We have a South community, an East community, North community, and then a West, which we call the Towers. So there's one of those. Students are welcome to go to any of them you want. So if you live in South, you can go to breakfast there and then go to East for lunch and North for dinner. It's totally your call. You go to whatever one you want. They're all pretty similar, but you have a meal plan that's attached to your student ID card. You can have an unlimited week. You can have 19 meals a week, 16 meals a week, or 14 meals a week. You just swipe in at the dining hall door and you get access to anything and everything. There are pasta stations, salad bars, so you can make your own sandwich. There's always pizza and dessert. There's home-style cooked meals. There's even in 2 of the 4 dining halls. So you will not go hungry here at Central Michigan. But beyond our awesome dining halls, we have mini markets, snack bars, and like these kind of fast food chains all throughout campus. So in most every single building, there's a place to go grab food. Time Bagels, that's in the College of Education building. Which, that's in the College of Business building. Subway's in the Towers. And free coffee drinkers, we have the ever so popular Starbucks, in addition to many other coffee places on campus. So you're never more than 5 minutes from coffee. But we have campus dollars. So you can spend your flex dollars at any one of these places. It's almost like using a gift card. We do have a food court in the lower level for University Center. So there's like 6 or 7 restaurants kind of all paired there together. And you can go use your flex dollars and grab a meal there if you just want to change of pace from the and the last thing here is that we have a mobile snack bar or a food truck. It pulls outside of Moore Hall on nice days, and you can go up to grab a snack or a meal between classes. So just kind of a cool experience for our students. All right, for travel, we have the luxury of, again, so we're in the smack dab middle of the state, so we have access to all kinds of public transportation system, which you see here, the Compass Coach, Indian Trails, and Megabus. For those of you who are traveling closer to Lansing, Detroit, Chicago, or Grand Rapids, we do have the Amtrak train that goes to Lansing. But if you transportation, that's certainly okay, because you can bring your car to campus as a freshman. Not every school lets freshmen bring their cars to campus, but we do it here at Central Michigan. For $150, you can buy a freshman parking pass. To be honest though, speaking as a former student, you really don't need a car on campus if you live on campus, because our campus is so walkable. It takes 15 minutes to go all the way across campus. So by the time you hop in your car and drive to the other side of campus and park, you could have walked there. So really, your car is just if you want to travel to and from home on the weekends, but your call if you want to bring that. Okay, so going into the last part of this presentation, you've learned about Central Michigan and you're interested in applying. How do you do that? How do you pay for school and what kind of scholarships are available? Well, good news is our application process is very easy. You can go to our website, which is apply.cmu, and you can fill an application. It takes 15 minutes. It's very pain-free. It's very quick. We ask for your high school transcripts, so have your high school counselor send those in, or you can go to this website called Parchment. We normally ask for your SAT or ACT test scores, but with everything that has taken place this year, that a lot of those tests have been pushed back or canceled. So we are going to be test optional for the month or for all of next year. So you don't need to send those scores. I personally recommend it. I'll kind of explain why here in a minute with the scholarships, but and the last thing you see here is a $4 application fee. But good news is that it's the month of October, and that is application free month. And actually, I learned yesterday that we're extending that through November. So apply during the month of October or November, and just get that $4 fee taken care of. On the application, when you get to the payment method section, just hit the pay later option, and that will waive the application fee as long as you apply during the month of October or November. And you don't see an essay here. We don't make our students write those long, pesky essays. We just want the application, your optional test scores, and then take advantage of that application waiver. So when we get your application, what is it that we look for here on our admissions team? We look at your academic rigor, so the kinds of classes that you took. Did you take any advanced classes, any AP classes, specifically at your core classes, how you did in those? We look at your trend and grades, so all the way from the beginning of your freshman year to the end of your senior year. And then, of course, your test scores if you want to send those in. And you see down there at the bottom, those are the average scores from our incoming freshman class of last year. Don't be deterred. We have students apply with a 4.0. We have students who apply with something less than a 3.41. So don't be deterred. If you're interested in Central Michigan, I recommend applying and seeing what we can do for you. Same thing for our transfer students. This is what we look for, kind of similar to our undergraduate students, or undergraduate freshman students, I should say, but we look for the same couple of things. So if you're interested in going somewhere else and then coming to Central Michigan, this is kind of what we look for. All right, this is the big slide. This is the one that makes mom and dad gasp a little bit. But you see this is for a full academic year at Central. Down there at the bottom is our estimated total. You see that overwhelming yellow number, that $26,716. That is estimated, and to be honest, speaking to you as a CMU staff member and a former student, I think that's a bit of an overestimation. We just don't want any to kind of overestimate a little bit. But to help you understand this number, we'll kind of break it down and go through it. Tuition, this covers your classes. So this is based on $417 per credit hour times 30 credit hours, which is average for a student looking to graduate in 4 years. So that's where you get. Good news is that Central Michigan has had the lowest increase in tuition in the state of Michigan over the last 10 years out of any school in the state of Michigan. So that number is not going to fluctuate all that much. Room and board, that covers your residence hall and your meal plan. And that's based on the standard residence hall and the unlimited. So if you don't want that unlimited meal plan, that number is actually going to come down a little bit, which is awesome. The books, that third number there, $1,000, that's estimated, and that's not being paid to Central Michigan. That is simply us estimating what it might cost for you to buy books for the year. And to be honest, I think I ever spent $1,000 in books as a CMU student. I would go to class, and this is my recommendation to you, go to class that first week, kind of feel it out for that first class or two, see if the professor actually refers to the book or utilizes the book, and decide if you actually have to go buy it. And then maybe you have a roommate in that class who you can split the book with. You can go to Amazon, Chegg, or the bookstore, see which one's going to be the cheapest. So don't just run to the bookstore and buy your books before classes start. Go check out class first before you buy that book. Student service fees, this covers advisors and all those resources I covered earlier. And the last number here before that estimated total is our travel and miscellaneous expense. Also not being paid to CMU, that is simply us estimating what it might cost for you to travel to and from campus or to outfit your residence hall room, buy schools. That's just kind of all grouped into one there. So all that estimated total, that's not being paid to CMU. That is just kind of an overall estimation. It's probably an overestimation in my opinion. And you see in the top right that over 85% of our students receive scholarships from CMU. This is our Maroon and Gold merit-based scholarship. So this is automatic. You do not have to apply for this. Central Michigan automatically gives this to you. So you can see here, you can find your high school GPA on the top and pair that with your SAT or ACT scores on the side. Color range that puts you in, and then the color range tells you what percent of your tuition we're going to get. So let's use an example here. If you have a 3.5 GPA and you score a 1270, let's say on the SAT, that's going to put you in that middle yellow range, which is good for 30% off your tuition, which is pretty good, and that's percentage based. So if tuition ever does increase, and again, it doesn't increase often, we're also going to increase your scholarship too. So I understand that some of you may not have your test scores yet or just haven't taken it. So that's okay. You can still qualify for the scholarship. This is the same scholarship. This is like the test optional. So you can apply to CMU's test optional, which I mentioned earlier. There's a question on the application that says, do you want to be considered as test optional? I encourage you to say yes if you don't have your test scores yet. So this is the same scholarship. This is just without your test score. So let's use an example to help us understand this. If you have that same 3.5 GPA, you can see you have 25% off your tuition. That's pretty good. 25% goes a long ways. But let's say you sent in your test optional. We say, congratulations, here's 25%, but you send in your SAT test score later. We'll evaluate you based on this. So you can see with that 3.5, depending on how well you do with that test, you can get all the way up to 50%, 40%, 30%, and the bottom you get is that 20. It only helps you to send your SAT score. It will never hurt you. And if it does hurt you, we'll give you the better option of these two. We're always going to give you the better options. We want you to come to Central Michigan. We want to make it affordable to you. So yes, we'll give you the better option of these two. Maroon and Gold Scholarship, you don't have to apply for that. That is automatic. Applies test optional, and then send in your test scores later. Okay, these are some of our competitive scholarships. These ones you do have to apply for. And the deadline for most of these is January 1st. These ones do have I encourage you to apply for these scholarships if you qualify, because you'll be rewarded very handsomely for them. The Centralis and Lum Tucker are full rides, full room and board and tuition. And then the Leadership Advancement Scholarship and the Multicultural Advancement COFR Scholarship, those range from anywhere from like $4,000 to $8,000 a year. And you compare that with that Maroon and Gold Scholarship that we just went over. So apply for these if you qualify. You can find them on our website. After you are admitted to CMU, go to our website, go to the scholarships tab, and you'll find all these scholarships too. And also check scholarships by department. So if you're like going into psychology, for example, you can go to the psychology department and they have scholarships specifically for that too. So if you know what you want to major in, go check out those departmental scholarships too. The FAFSA, this is first, so some of you may have already filled this out. If not, that's okay. I recommend sitting down with your parent and figuring out the FAFSA. This tells you how much it's going to cost you specifically to attend CMU, and lets you know how much federal, state, and institutional aid that you qualify for. So get that FAFSA filled in when you get a chance. So once you apply, about 2 weeks later, you're going to get this lovely envelope here on the left side in the mail, and it's going to say, congratulations, you can be a Central Michigan Chippewa. Here are your next steps to enrolling. So these here, number one is setting up your official CMU account and email. I recommend doing this relatively quick, because if CMU wants to contact you, they're going to contact that CMU email, so it's good to check that every now and then. Number two is the $175 enrollment reservation deposit, securing your spot in the freshman class, and also your orientation fee. But if you ever have a change of heart, you can actually get that $175 refunded all the way up through June 1st of 2021. We don't want to lock you in. You know, if you do have a change of heart, we don't want to penalize you for that. Three is the financial aid award package. So we'll tell you what scholarships that you got, which is awesome. And then number four is you can sign for an orientation day. So usually for a date in either May, June, or July, you come to campus, you meet that academic advisor, get your schedule, get your student ID, have a nice welcome to campus. Let's get you acclimated day. So you can sign up for one of those days later on in the summer. You can sign up for your housing. So you can pick which of our 21 residence halls you want to live in, as well as your roommates. So if you know what roommates you want to have, that's awesome. You can recruit specific people, but if not, that's okay. You can go in blind, which a lot of our students do. We have this awesome app through our residence life, and this is kind of outlined in the packet too, that you can match with somebody who has your similar interests. So based on your area of study, your hobbies, what time you go to bed, we'll match you with somebody so that way you have stuff in common with your roommates. And then number six is Leadership Safari. I really recommend doing Leadership Safari. It is a 3-day camp the week before classes start in August for our incoming freshmen. Our freshmen get to move in early, and Leadership Safari is just 3 days just packed full of fun. There are concerts, there are speakers, there's team building exercises, there's rec leagues that take place. You get acclimated to campus, but the best part is you get to meet a lot of other students. You get to make your friends. You get to meet some faculty members too. I did it as an incoming freshman, and it was tremendous. To be honest, I didn't want to do it. My parents made me do it. They kind of twisted my arm, but honestly, I'm so glad they did, because I had a great time, and I met so many friends and friends I still have to this day. And to feel like I was ready for that first day of class, because I'd already been on campus for a week. So sign up for Leadership Safari if you want. Okay, and this kind of brings us to the end here. So there's that QR code again, in case you missed it at the beginning. And then there's our contact information down there at the bottom team. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and open it up for questions.
So Scott, I have a couple of questions. This was such a great, thorough presentation, and you shared so many niche things that I haven't seen in other presentations. So I really appreciate that. It makes Central stand out. One of the questions I had was for students who are incoming as freshmen, is there a number of years that they're required to live on campus, or does it vary, or are they required to live on campus?
That's a good question. I probably should have mentioned that in the presentation, but we ask that our students live on campus for the first 2 years. It's just been proven that students have a better adjustment to college life if they live on campus and they have that close proximity to all those resources. If you live less than 50 miles from campus, you can commute and live at home. But we ask for most of our students to live on campus for the first 2 years. And to be honest, living on campus is a lot of fun too.
So if a student wants to check out campus, is there a way that they can do that right now, or are all your tours still virtual?
You can do both. So if you want to do it from the comforts of your home and do it virtual, we have a great video. We like flew a drone all throughout campus. But if you want to come to campus, we have visit days, so you can come to campus. You can get an admissions presentation or sit down with someone just like myself and kind of go through what Central Michigan can offer you, but then get a tour of campus as well. You can go to our website if you just, it might be easier just to Google it. If you just Google like it, it'll take you right to our visit website, and you can see there's days to come visit campus and talk to admissions rep. And then there's also things where if you're interested in the College of Science and Engineering, for example, you can sign up for a College of Science and Engineering Discovery Day, where you get to talk to faculty members from the College of Science and Engineering, and you get to meet with people who are more science and engineering minded, but that goes for all of our colleges too, and a lot of our areas of study.
That's super helpful. I think I had one more question. Was it about campus visiting? No, I'm gonna find it here. Sorry, bear with me. I had a bunch of notes.
Well, while you do that, there was a question that was that I got before the presentation of
yes.
What can students do to help increase their chances of goal, specifically CMU. I think the best way to do that is do well in your high school classes. Take the time to invest in yourself. Do your homework, study, make sure you do well in those tests, so that way you get those grades and get that good GPA. But also the standardized tests. So if you're taking the SAT or ACT, take the time to prepare for that too, because the better your high school GPA and the better your test scores are, and this goes for Central Michigan, but other schools too. The better your GPA and test scores are, you're going to get into those schools and then also get bigger scholarships from those schools.
That's really helpful advice. I remember the question. It was, you mentioned that December 1st was kind of the optimal date to apply for. Is that because the application is free until then, or are there other scholarship deadlines that you meet?
So that December 1st deadline is kind of a soft deadline, especially this year with everything that's going on. Applications are free through the end of November.
Okay.
And then competitive scholarships that I went over, the deadline is December 1st, but we moved that back to January 1st just because we understand that students are juggling a lot right now, so we want to give them a little bit more time. So really what you saw, that December 1st deadline is kind of a soft deadline. So first apply the deadline for if you want to apply for those competitive scholarships.
Okay. So ideally, if you want optimal application, optimal chance at scholarships, get your application in by the end of November.
Basically, yes. Take application free months, October and November.
Okay.
Yeah, and don't worry about the scholarship deadlines because you applied early.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate it. And that was a wonderful presentation. I can't wait for our students to see it.